All right, perfect. Welcome, everybody. My name is Robin, Certified Nutrition Specialist, and we're going to talk about the shred and what that is. As I said before, my name is Robin. I am a nutritionist for the past, 14 years. And this is a program that I do and I recommend because it is a jump start to healthy living. We start the shred the second Monday of every month, so you're timely in hearing this message. We're going to explain to you what it is, why it is. It is designed for a lot of benefits, but again, I'm going to tell you how it works, why you would do it, and the benefits of doing the shred and what it entails. And so how it works is you're going to do a few simple things over a 10-day period. And why 10 days? Because we know that 10 days is just enough time for you to notice a change in your body. We also know that 10 days is doable for everybody, right? So if I told you 45 days or 60 days or anything other than 10 days, you might not do it, right? But 10 days, we know that you can do it. After the 10 days, if you like the way you feel, which so many people do, you can keep going with the protocol that we're going to share with you. Now, let's say that after the 10 days, you want to not continue. You don't have to because you did your 10 days. So you decide after the 10 days what worked for you and what you want to keep and go back to, you get to decide. But when you do it faithfully for the 10 days, magic happens. We do this every single month it's been years and years and years because it's a wonderful way to reset your body every month. So during those 10 days, we are removing wheat, which is called gluten, from our diet. And why are we doing that? So gluten happens to be an agitator for a lot of people, but you don't know it. It's actually, most of the gluten is sprayed with this chemical called glyphosate that messes with the digestive system. And when you pull back on it, you get a chance to feel what your body feels without it. So we ask you to eliminate gluten, wheat. So that's pastas, breads, and what else? Like it's been so long since I've had gluten that I'm even forgetting, like, what is it? But it's most of carbohydrates. However, rice is fine, oatmeal is fine, corn tortillas are fine. But we're removing that. We're also removing dairy. Same thing with the allergens, and it sometimes, a lot of times, doesn't work with our digestive system. So dairy is cheese, milk, ice cream, butter. It's just 10 days, don't worry, it's just 10 days. Sugar, we're taking that out of the diet, but there's good news that we are not adding any refined sugar. So there is room for some sugar, and I'll tell you about that. We're also taking processed foods out. We want you to drink enough water so that your urine is clear or very faint yellow. That means you're getting the water in and you're flushing toxins out. We're asking you to sleep 7 to 8 hours per night. Exercise most days. So the shred is 10 days. That means you're exercising 6 days. And eliminate eating after 6, 7 at the max, unless you work a graveyard shift. Then that's kind of a different schedule. But for the most part, those are the guidelines. So you're removing wheat, dairy, sugar, processed foods, you're drinking enough water, you're sleeping, you're exercising most days, and you're refraining from eating. And that is part of the shred. The other part is you're replacing 1 or 2 of your meals with the Juice Plus plant-based shake. And it's designed to be a meal to keep you full, to give you all of the carbs and fiber and all of the things that you need. So you're replacing 1 or 2 of your meals with the shakes. And we also ask you to add in the fruits and vegetables and the omegas if you don't have them. So you're flooding your body with what it needs, and you're taking out what does not serve you, and you're doing that consistently for those 10 days. Your menu looks a little something like this, although we provide you with a menu. So your breakfast can be a smoothie. I love having the chocolate protein with a little bit of banana and almonds or walnuts in there. and I put my capsules and I put some almond milk in there and I mix it up and it is phenomenal. Your lunch could be the second shake, or you could do a whole food balanced meal. So let's say if you felt like doing salmon and brown rice and a salad, or tofu and vegetables. And so we give you the options, but you can decide. And then your dinner is a whole food balanced meal. So you're doing a shake, your lunch, and your dinner. And then if you need snacks, there's some snack options in there. We're keeping it clean, we're keeping it simple, we're keeping it effective for those 10 days. And the shred gently guides you to see how certain foods are affecting you. And you will discover which foods serve you and which do not. And when people discover it, it's an epiphany, right? Because who knew? Got to do it to see it or feel it. And it helps you build a healthy eating plan, as well as guides you to proper portions. It teaches you portion control. The shred is known to help with energy, and it resets our body, as I mentioned before. It helps us to maintain a healthy weight, maintain our healthy blood sugar. That's a big deal. And it improves your digestive health, as well as reducing inflammation. When you're taking out what doesn't serve you and you're flooding your body with what it does, your body responds in such a beautiful way for you. We are faced with so much going on with the air quality and the food quality and the toxins, and we are bombarded with all of these things. There has to be a way that we reset the body, and the shred is a wonderful way to do that. So the shred would benefit you, those you love, and those around you, because it just works, and we know it works. The shred, there's packages, and you can choose which package works for you. All of the packages include the Juice Plus Complete Protein. So you need that protein in order to do the shred, right? And that protein, as I mentioned, is very balanced, whole food nutrition, plant fiber for the gut, and it's good stuff, right? So you need that to do the shred. And then the Juice Plus plant powders, the fruits, the vegetables, the veggies, and the berries are not required to do the shred, but highly, highly recommended, right? So we have shredders that start off not using the Juice Plus, and then they quickly realize that the results are heightened and it's better when they do. And when you're using the Juice Plus, you're getting all 30 plus fruits and vegetables in your system, and it's phenomenal. And it's not a multivitamin, for those of you who are not aware. Even though it's in the little capsule, it's food. It has a nutrition facts label, just like broccoli that you would see in the frozen section. It has the pits, the peel, the seeds, all of the good stuff that you need from non-GMO, non-pesticide, tampered with fruits and vegetables turned into a powder, and we consume it every day, and it is food. It's backed by more than 41 research studies. That's important to me as a nutritionist, because there's so many supplements and things on the market. I had to know that if I recommended it, it was like really, really, really legit. Like it was through science and research. And now I felt comfortable with recommending it. And then I've seen just phenomenal things happen. The published studies, I'm going to summarize some of the important things that the published studies found. It found a significant increase of antioxidants in your blood. And that's what you need to fight off nasty stuff out in the world. You need antioxidants very strong in your blood. It also helps with your heart health, positive effect on your heart, positive effect on the immune system, as well as helping your DNA against oxidation and damage. All of these things working together builds you up from a cellular level. When it comes to your biomarkers in your body, you can tell, we know that through blood work, you can tell that your numbers are better, your inflammation is down. Also, it improves lung function. The skin, the thickness of your skin, the hydration of your skin, the circulation of your skin. It also supports healthy teeth and gums, less bleeding. That was my story. It supports your cholesterol, your triglyceride metabolism, and overall cell health. We know that through blood work, through research, through studies, and I always challenge folks to be consistent and take them and take their blood work. I just had my blood work done like last week, and I excited. I almost did a black backflip in the doctor's office because I was like, Juice Plus is doing some things to me because I had some improvements in my blood work, and I love it. The omegas, so your heart, your brain, your eyes, skin, and your joints. My eyes have gotten better over the years. I'm getting older and my eyes are getting better. Are you kidding me? Like, it's because I keep putting this nutrition in my body. With the omega, you've heard of omega-3. So the Juice Plus Omega is all plant-based, so no fish, and it increases the omega-3 index in your blood in 8 weeks. So it does it faster and in a lesser of a dosage, did I say that right, than traditional fish oil pills. So more potent, faster, it raises the omega-3 level in your blood. The omega blend from the Juice Plus is a blend. So it's not just omega-3, it's 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And there's synergy in that. There's harmony, there's synergy, and that's why it works so well. As I mentioned to you before, it's all plant-based, so it's sourced from algae, no fish. So there's no mercury, no fish. It's all from plants. And as I said before, it achieves the omega-3 index with half the dosage in half the time. If you don't have the omegas and you already take Juice Plus, consider adding the omegas because they are powerful. So going back to the shred before we hear from a couple of shredders to show you their story. And Bernetta, I'm gonna pull on you if I can in a little bit, but with the shred, you're going to get your 10-day menu. And then afterwards, if you're a shredder or a part of our community, we're gonna give you a meal plan to help you through after the shred. You're gonna get a digital recipe book, accountability group, a success guide. Your shred leader is gonna be there to support you. And then we have a team of wellness experts. So you're a part of a community when you shred with us. Let me go over the packages with you, and then we're going to hear from a couple of shredders and their stories. So if you do option 1, it's 4 payments of $39. You're billed 4 consecutive months, just like if you're taking Juice Plus, everything is billed in 4 payments unless you pay in full. But with that, you're going to get your protein. And if you shred with us multiple times and you do 1 shake a day, it's going to last you 4 months. That's the first package. If you want to step it up a little bit or a lot, you're going to get your shakes plus your fruits and vegetables. So the shakes plus the fruits and vegetables, and that is 4 payments of $89. 4 payments of $89, and that's called Completely Balanced. And then the third option you're doing it all. You were putting everything, you're doing it. You're 100% committed, and it's called Complete Shred. You have your protein, you get your fruits, your vegetables, your berries, and your omegas, and that's 4 payments of $146. You decide what package makes sense for you. Here's some questions that usually come up. It says, am I required to shred every month? You're not. We invite you to. We offer the shred. We're consistent, but you don't have to do it every month. You can skip a month, however you feel like it, but it's a good idea to do it every month. The 4 payments, people say, well, why do I have to do 4 payments? You can pay in full, but it makes it, for some, more affordable. And it's a 4-month supply for a lot of it. So it just kind of keep it consistent with that. Money back guarantee. Any of the products, if for any reason, no questions asked, to stop your payment, return it, whatever the case may be, because the Juice Plus company wants you to be satisfied, as we do, as a part of the Juice Plus company and the shred team. So I want to invite you to contact the person that invited you here. We're going to hear a couple of testimonies from other shredders. I'm going to put the packages back up here so you can look at that. And now is a good time. We're going to start the second Monday of this coming month. However, now is a very good time to get your order in so that it has time to get to you. Now it's, time is of the essence, right? So contact the person that invited you here. And these are the 3 packages, option 1, 2, or 3, what works, choose the one that works best for you, and ask the person that invited you here if you're confused and you're trying to figure out, what is the best option. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and I want to ask Bernetta. Bernetta, are you okay to come on camera? Because I didn't ask you, but you are a shred leader, and I want to ask you this. You've worked with shredders. Can you share any experience that you've had with the shred, and then what you've noticed with your team of shredders over all the time.
Okay, so my personal experience with the shred, thank you, Robin. um, you know, I didn't do it perfectly the first time. I kind of jumped in with both feet and was, trying to juggle a lot. So my very first shred, I wouldn't say I crashed and burned, but I didn't do everything I really wanted to do. So the good news is we do it every month. And so I learned a lot from that time. And from thenceforth, I really learned how to launch myself into the shred. So I always calendar those days. I look over what I'm going to need to do. I plan out my menu pretty carefully and carry everything I need with me so that, even if I get stuck in a meeting, I could still stay on my plan.
Yeah.
Um, and so that was what I was able to introduce to my shred team, the people that shred
Okay.
with me. I really work hard to launch them because most of the time we fall out of the shred because we didn't plan. We don't have our shake. We don't have that shred friendly lunch or
Mm-hmm.
out without a snack. And now we're just going to eat whatever's rolling around, which is usually a donut or something. So I do a lot of that. The good news is I did the shred after starting on the fruits, vegetables, and berries. So several of my customers at the time did the shred with me, but I got a lot of people that kind of jumped on and just did the shakes, hadn't done any of the plant powders. And I was shocked that the people who had been doing the plant powders for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
their results on the shred was just like incredible.
Yeah.
So most of my shredders lost some weight, felt good, had more energy. A lot of people wanted to use the shred as a way to sort of bring their weight kind of back towards where it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And my best weight loss people were those who had incorporated all of the pieces. They had the fruits, the vegetables, and the berries, and now they were adding in this wonderful, tasty shake. By the
Yes.
way, they are very addictive. You're going to want to shake.
I know they are. They're simple. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I call BJ the number one shredder because, and I'm still in awe by a number of things, but my BJ, just start with this because this is the part that almost makes me want to fall off my chair. What were your results from the shred? So from when you started to now, you have had a phenomenal transformation. And you look like you're 13, but you're not 13 years old. So share with us your transformation with the shred.
Well, Dr. Bernetta was the one that got me on it. I started at 73 a few years ago, and I thought I'd do just like what you said, the 10 days only, and figure I could do that. Well, in that 10 days, I had lost 6 pounds and all the swelling around my ankles from being sedentary. So now it's been, actually, I accomplished my goal in about a year and a half. So I've just maintained. But I chose to be one of those 2.5 year shredders. I didn't want to go back to your nice little meal plan and wreck my brain. It was
Yeah.
just easier to remember one thing, and that's the shred.
Mm-hmm.
That's just stored in my brain, and I made all my meals based on that. So I went from 180 pounds, size 16, and I weighed yesterday. I'm 125, wearing kind of like a size 6. So it's been a marvelous journey,
Yeah.
and I try to help a lot of people on it
Yeah.
because we there's a lot of unhealthy people, and we have people on our prayer line that have had illnesses where they should have been dead,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still living. So there
Yeah.
really is a connection to what you eat and how healthy you are. So it's been
Absolutely.
an amazing journey, and I'm
Yes.
75 now. I'll be 76 this year.
Yeah, and you're so beautiful and such an inspiration, and you've inspired so many people. It's like um you're like famous because they're like, who is she? I want to do it. I want to do it. If she can do it, you know, and you've stuck to it and just phenomenal. So thank you so much for sharing that. And every time I see you, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get on that. Right. So thank you so much. Is there anybody else before we wrap it up? Any other shredders that want to share their stories at all? Because we're going off the cuff here. So any shredder out there that wants to share, or anyone that has any questions?
This is Johnny Grandison. How y'all doing?
Hey, Johnny.
Hi, Johnny.
Hey, everyone. So with the shred, what I found is that one, the biggest thing about it is making a decision to do it. And then once you actually do it, you're setting aside all the things you already know you're supposed to be doing, and you're just doing them all at the exact same time. And at that point, when you do the activity, let go of the results. Whatever happens is going to happen, because we're looking at this as a lifestyle change. This is not a diet. So that's where we don't get all wrapped up if, you know, you're on the shred 10 and you have an office party and they're having XYZ, whatever, and you get a little bite, you know, so be it. Next day, pick it up and keep it moving in that direction. So, you know, in 2022, I have not had any meat. And so I got challenged and to keep going in that direction. So I personally just don't give myself any titles of vegetarian, vegan. I think they become a flexitarian because I do fish, whatever. But nonetheless, as of right now, I have not done it. So
now let me ask you this. I'm putting you on the spot since you're right here. You've been taking the plant powders for a while, and you've had some positive results. Would you mind sharing what you personally noticed by just flooding your body with all the whole food nutrition and putting Juice Plus in your body? What do you know? What's your story?
absolutely. So I think most of us, you know, at one point in time, I was like, you know, I eat healthy, I do this and I do that, whatever, right? So, but one of the things I realized is the lack of consistency. So we might do this one time and then we stop and we do something else one time. So, you know, if we were to cook greens today, we're not going to do tomatoes and cabbage tomorrow, and then we're not doing the celery and, you know, eggplant. Our lifestyles are too busy for that. So the lack of consistency is one of the things I noticed. So when we start taking the Juice Plus, and for me, even though we're focusing on Beverly's situation, I started realizing that I wasn't having the flare-ups because I had been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease in the form of Crohn's, which is chronic inflammation in the intestinal, in my case, intestinals walls. So as we start taking the Juice Plus, that consistency of, you know, one of the properties it has is to help alleviate and reduce chronic inflammation. And so the consistency of taking it over and over again, I was too new to really have a grasp on it. But I had just given some blood work prior to me starting the regimen. And after taking the Juice Plus about 45 days, and I went back to get my my follow-up, my wife had suggested I get a copy of all my previous blood work. Now, me personally, I don't go to the doctor like that. I love them, but I don't know, I like my church and other places, social places. But in this case, you know, after Beverly asked me to do that, I am looking at my previous results before starting the Juice Plus regimen, and I had all these highs and lows all over the place. Where after being on Juice Plus about 45 days, all those highs were down into the range and all those lows were up into the range. And so as an engineer, as I look at charts and graphs all the time, you know, they kind of paint a picture and tell a story for me. And what it did was it allowed me to identify something I already knew to be true, which was that chronic inflammation. But then it was correcting all those other little things I didn't even know about. And so that was profound. So even though we had started on that wave of starting to try to eat healthier and drink more water and exercise, stuff like that, the real thing I did the most depth was to start that Juice Plus regimen. And so for that, it just showed up in itself.
Yeah, I just had my blood work done, and same. I mean, it just shows up. I would tell y'all that are listening, don't just take our word for it, right? Check your blood work. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Johnny. So we all are running out of time. So I'll encourage you that to contact the person that invited you here. And I'm gonna cut off the recording.